You're listening to Inside Real Estate, your source for all things mortgage and real estate related. The show that brings you all the hottest topics and insights directly from those who know it most. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show. What is up, everyone? Paul Paslakis and Tom Lauer. We are Inside Real Estate. Today's special guest is Jamie Proper from REALTEAM. She is, what are you? Your productivity coach.
Yep, that's
you've
my
done
title.
a lot of things, to be fair.
I have, but that is my title currently.
To be fair, you've done a lot of things. So, obviously, for those of you that have found us for the first time, welcome. For those of you that are back, thank you for listening to the show again. Please go to irepodcast.com or go to Facebook.com/IRE podcast to see us live. You can also go to YouTube. You can go to anywhere that you listen to podcasts. You can Google Inside Real Estate Podcasts, and you'll get a lot of stuff on there for us. So please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss an episode. So today we are going to talk about existing home sales slide back to pre-pandemic levels.
Uh-oh.
What?
Is that bad? I'm just so scared.
No, it's good.
Okay, good.
It's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're back up to pre-pandemic levels.
God, thank God.
Yeah. So
everything scares me right now, Paul.
Yeah, and demand for adjustable rate mortgages surges as interest rates make the biggest jump in 13 years.
Oh my gosh, an ARM? Those are scary, Paul.
They're not that scary.
Okay.
We'll talk about why they're not
okay.
that scary.
Good.
Yeah,
so I'm scared.
Because Canada doesn't think they're scary.
No, they have.
That's all they have in Canada.
Yeah.
But first, let's get to Jamie. Jamie Proper, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you doing it.
Of course.
It means a lot to us as a group. So tell the audience a little bit about what it is that you do.
What do I do? So I'm the productivity coach for REALTEAM Real Estate. So I work hand in hand with all of our agents. I help coach them through negotiations, sales skills, confidence, closing, help them just build their business.
Yeah. So you're hand in hand with the real estate agents.
Yeah, I work one-on-one with pretty much everybody in the company. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you seeing? I mean, you're more the back office, right? You've always been kind of the back of the house, not really the front of the house as much, out there selling or you're more in the support staff role. What are you seeing and feeling right now in your world as far as the market?
I'm starting to feel the shift a little bit. Obviously, everyone's talking about it. Everyone's nervous about it. I'm seeing listings sitting. So I'm having a lot of conversations with our agents and with our clients, just with different expectations than even a month ago.
Yeah. What's changing though?
So homes are sitting longer. We're not in. I mean, let me be clear. I don't see values going down right now, but I'm not listing a house on Friday and having 25 offers on a Sunday.
Right.
That's just not happening.
Which
I was a month ago.
30 days ago, you were in that world. 30 days later, now you're not getting those multiple offers like you were before. Are we seeing price reductions?
We're starting to. I mean, it's very early in my opinion. So, I mean, my focus this afternoon is looking at the company, all of our live listings that have been sitting for longer than 7 days and calling the agents about getting price reductions. Because again, it's very early, but we had, I think, 15 listings go live last Thursday and Friday. And I think 2 of them went pending.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Jamie's also
that's a big shift.
She's in a unique position to where she has, I would arguably say that she has been involved in more transactions than almost any other agent in this market, because she's our negotiation specialist. So she has her hand on a lot of deals. So she had, given all of that volume she sees, she's a really good touch on what the market is or isn't doing.
Right.
So her advice is valuable, right? Yeah. She's in the trenches.
She's in the trenches.
A lot of these deals. So let me ask you this: Are you seeing the crazy shifts? Like, are buyers asking for concessions now, and like anything to indicate that this is somewhat favorable to the buyers?
Not yet, but I think it's going to happen. Because we're accepting.
Speaking of the mic, would you?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So not yet. I think again, we're at the very beginning. So I see houses going for asking price or even below asking price. So I think just naturally we're going to start seeing negotiations after inspections again, which we didn't see that before, right? Buyers would take on a laundry list of repairs as long as the foundation wasn't crumbling. Their agents were telling them, hey dude, you have to move forward because we're not going to get you another house.
Right.
I think that that's probably going to change, and we're going to start seeing nitpicking after inspection. We're going to start seeing negotiations after appraisals, which again, I haven't seen negotiations after appraisals in 2 years probably, right? We're not seeing full appraisal guarantees no matter what.
So buyers potentially are going to have a little bit more breathing room going into this season, I think. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that we're going to start seeing more leverage for our buyers for sure.
More leverage, more concessions happening, more things happening that are going to be benefiting the buyer more so than the seller in the future market. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
So that's all great. It paints a rosy picture for buyers out there, which they haven't had in a long time. So it's nice to see that. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, though, is interest rates and payments. Have you, being involved in so many deals, have you seen interest rate and payment affect buyers in any type of way?
Yeah, I would say that, over the last few months, I've worked with a handful of buyers who just got priced out of what they were looking for, right? They were looking for X specific house, whatever that looked like. And that was their, they could go up to X amount of dollars. And then obviously that purchase price goes down as the interest rates go up.
Right.
So I would say that I was working with a handful of buyers that got priced out of what they were looking for. So again, it's just, resetting expectations. Are we looking for a smaller house, or are we going to a different area?
So when you say that they got priced out, are these people quitting search and just deciding to stay put or rent or whatever? Or are you seeing them reset expectations and, be willing to sacrifice maybe area or square footage or something else?
I would say both.
Okay.
I would say, a good amount of people they know that buying still makes much more sense than renting in this market, whichever way that you look at it, right?
Yeah.
So I would say the majority of people, they had to look in a different area. They had to, change 2,000 square feet to 1,500 square feet, whatever it may be. We just had to adjust their expectations a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Tom, going forward, I think we are seeing the shift. It's happening. Yeah. Right. We are. We're
at the beginning of it.
We're at the very beginning.
I think we can call it now.
I think
it's appropriate to call it that we are shifting from that seller's market to a buyer's market, but we're still in the very infant stages of it.
You feel like I feel like we have a long way to go before we call it a buyer's market.
Long way to go. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the actual stat is when it turns into a buyer's market. I think it's like 6 or 7 months of inventory.
I thought it was 4, but
4.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think it depends on who you talk to, but I'm excited about that, though. I think that it loosening up is going to create more transactions.
More transactions.
Yeah, I think more transactions are going to happen because we're constricting so tight, and now we're going to go the other way, and it'll start to expand again, I believe.
Have you seen an increase in people listing their houses due to the rates?
Yes.
You have?
I have.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because my theory was that people wouldn't be moving because they didn't want to lose their low interest rate that they already had. But you're saying that listings have ticked up for sure.
In my opinion, yeah, I've seen an increase. I think a lot of people that were on the fence, they're scared about what's happening.
Yeah.
And they're scared that if they wait a year like they were planning on, or 6 months like they were planning on, they're scared that the value is going to go down. So I think a lot of people right now are saying, okay, well, I got to shit get out of the pot.
Yep. Right. So we are seeing more inventory coming on the market. We're seeing more buyers having more options.
Right.
So is the Fed, what they're doing, working?
Well, I mean, their mandates are employment and low inflation, right?
Correct.
So if you look at their mandate of low inflation, you have to increase rates to curtail inflation.
Correct.
I don't think that the CPI has shown that it's working yet.
Right.
But it's definitely taking the inflation out of the housing market.
Yeah, the housing market.
If prices are starting to top.
Yeah.
And I know just in MI Real Source, our MLS, Chandler pulled up some stats from the last 30 days, I think he did.
Mm-hmm.
And it is showing, price decreases overall purchase price coming down, not raising anymore, which is the first time we've seen that. So, and that's inflation in the housing market, right? Is the price of houses. So is it working? It seems like it is working.
Do we end up seeing a complete slowdown in the housing market, or are we going to chug along?
I mean, what does that mean?
I guess in my mind, are we going to see 20% adjustments in value? Are we going to see buyers just totally staying away from the market? Are we going to see a gluttony of houses hitting the market?
I think that depends on whether or not people can continue to pay their mortgages.
Right.
So if we can avoid a really deep cutting recession, then
jobs.
Yeah, I don't think that we're going to see a 20% decrease in home prices.
Right.
But if we have I forgot who it was, maybe Larry Summers, someone that I was reading, forecasted like a really bad recession is on the way, right? Like thousands of job losses.
Right. Things
are going to get ugly. If that happens, then yeah, you could definitely see a significant adjustment in real estate prices.
Right. That's going to be wild. How about the demand for adjustable rate mortgages coming back? How do you feel about that?
I didn't see that article. Last time I priced something out, I didn't really notice a difference, much of a difference between rate and cost between a 30-year and say a 5 or a 7-year.
Right.
Do you know what the difference is these days?
No, I don't.
So if we're at whatever 6.25 on a 30-year, what's the 5-year ARM sitting at today?
I don't know. I don't think it's much better. I don't think the yield curve has gotten to the point where ARMs make that much sense. That's why I was kind of surprised by this article. So mortgage applications to purchase a home rose 8% last week compared with the previous week.
Wow.
Bolstered in part by demand for adjustable rate mortgages. I think they're just trying to make a case for the adjustable rate mortgages. I think this is just a soundbite.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of this article actually, because
it's definitely something we should look at. We should,
the reason I brought it
up. We
are
loan guys. We can price that out and see if it's because, if there was a point when we sold mortgages where a 5-year ARM did make a ton of sense.
Sure.
Right. And it's going to go back there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess my whole thing is more than anything is we're starting to see these products coming back.
Yes.
Right?
The unique products,
non-QM products.
Yeah.
You're seeing ARMs. You're going to see more lenient guidelines, maybe from Fannie and Freddie to get more business in. Does that pose a risk to the market? Do we go back to a 2008 type situation where we're taking on risky loans when we shouldn't be?
It really depends on values, right? So LTV is one of the strongest qualifying values of a mortgage. Nothing to do with credit, nothing to do with income, and that alone can tank a mortgage, or how a mortgage performs is LTV alone. Because if someone gets to that point where they're underwater, they're a lot less likely to make mortgage payments.
100%,
right? So but I don't see any of the products like we had in the past where,
no Ninas.
No Nina. Right. We're still verifying income, even if it's a bank statement loan where we're not looking at pay stubs, we're still looking at cash flow. We're looking at money coming in.
Right.
And those are probably maybe the most risky products out there right now.
We also have the DCLR,
the debt servicing ratio, DSR, whatever it is.
I think those are interesting.
The loan that, you can get the loan based on just what the estimated income is going to be
on the rental property.
Right.
No W-2s, no pay stubs, nothing.
Zero income there.
Yeah.
Just credit, obviously. So
yeah. You made a funny face, Jamie Proper.
No, I didn't. I'm just listening.
You cringed.
No, I did not.
I felt
Jamie doesn't like mortgage talk.
No.
I don't dislike mortgage talk. I just don't know what you guys are talking about. So, I'm just listening.
Well, it's funny that you say that. I mean, you're a very high level real estate person, and you're an agent. You do represent buyers and sellers at times.
Yeah.
And you don't need to know or want to know this stuff, right? It doesn't. Knowing what a DSCR loan is not going to
make or break your
business.
Yeah, it's not going to change my life. I like to know where interest rates are. I like to know what's going on, but like the back end, that's why we have you guys.
Right. So Jamie, then tell us right now, like, what are some of the things that you're focused on? like for your business, like for you personally? What are you focused on to create impact on REALTEAM as a whole?
That's a great question. So, I mean, my focus changes every week, to be honest with you. I mean, really, I wake up in the morning and I try to find what holes in the business there are and whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
So like on like the negotiation side of things and having conversations with people, that's second nature to me. I mean, like Tom mentioned, I've done, I don't know, 7,000 transactions since I came to REALTEAM.
Right.
So, you know, I can do it with my eyes closed. I don't have to think about it. So I just try to figure out where the holes are in our business and try to fix them. So right now we have a lot of new agents coming in, which is exciting. We've been doing a lot of recruiting and our team's growing, which we're really excited about. That means we have a lot of green people. So I'm spending a lot of time with the newer agents, just working on having conversations with people and sales conversations, because as most people know right now, younger people don't know how to talk to each other.
Right.
You know, they live behind their phone. They live behind text message, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be. So I'm literally just trying to teach people how to have conversations and talk to people.
Yeah. I mean, I was about to ask, as a new agent coming into this world right now, this market, how do you get them going quickly? Like, how do you focus? Like, how do you help them move the needle?
Yeah. Again, it's just having conversations with people, right? I mean, we have our scripts. Our scripts are important. We do a lot of role play. We role play a lot of calls. I listen to a lot of their phone calls and I coach them through it. We talk about it. And yeah, I mean, it's just, they have to talk to as many people as possible. I don't care how they talk to them.
Yeah. I mean, something that's interesting about REALTEAM in general is that you guys have had the ability to take newer agents and get them up and running pretty quickly, more so than I've seen in other.
I think if you looked at our market, we're head and shoulders above the rest for someone that's never sold a house before to get you to $5 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody in this market's better than us at that.
Yeah.
And it's because of people like Jamie.
Yeah, because it is atypical to have such a big, robust support team for your agents. Am I right on that?
Well, yeah. So that's what I was going to say. So, you know, REALTEAM's cool for a lot of reasons, but we have so much support that literally all that our agents have to focus on is selling. All they have to do is meet people and find someone that says yes.
Yeah.
And we help them take care of everything else, right? So,
yeah,
you know, there's obviously a ton of moving pieces. And if we can just focus on getting them in front of people and finding deals, we can handle the rest.
We can handle
It's kind of like the philosophy, you know, back when we were at Quicken, why does Quicken have more high level mortgage bankers than a typical brokerage or somewhere else?
Yeah.
It's just because they do more volume in a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can get more deals done in a shorter period of time, you're just going to have more experience faster in your career. So that's how we look at it with real estate. Like, you know, if the average new agent's going to do 6 deals a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Our guys are going to do 18. Right.
Wow.
So that's equivalent to 3 years versus 1 year.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a big
difference. It's all
difference.
about the volume and just banging it out and understanding the process.
That's interesting.
And you're never going to learn that just reading about it or watching YouTube videos. Like, the way you learn is you go out there and you write offers and you get into real estate transactions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. What you guys have built here at REALTEAM, just in the short. How long have you guys been now doing the whole REALTEAM thing?
Well, our grand opening was March of 2016, right?
Yeah.
So 5.5 years.
Short order.
Yeah.
6 years.
And then we've got 88 agents now.
Yep. We'll do 300 million this year.
Yep.
$300 million in volume. That's a lot.
We'll help
volume.
Probably between 12 and 1,400 families.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. That's awesome. So that's the other thing that I think is interesting that from us doing this podcast is we have some real-time statistics on what's happening out there. You know what I mean? We're feeling it because you guys do so many transactions. We are starting to see certain things changing.
Well, it happened 2 weeks ago, right?
It happened 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
When I talked to our staff photographer, Hummer, and Hummer's like, "Oh my gosh, I am just so busy. I have so many shoots. I've got more shoots than I've really ever had."
Yeah.
Well, that's a leading indicator. People scheduling pictures for listings.
Totally.
It just tells you more listings are coming to market.
Totally. More listings are coming to market. Buyers are going to have more options.
Yep.
How does that change the conversation, Jamie, from a real estate person, real estate agent, to their clients? Are they having different conversations now than they were 2 weeks ago? And how do you get that message across to the buyers and the consumer at this point to let them know that things are different?
So buyers specifically, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
So when the agents are talking to their buyers?
Yeah.
I think it's a really easy conversation and it's exciting. We have a lot of people that literally have been working with buyers for 6, 9, 12 months, have literally lost out on 30 houses.
Right.
So I think it's a good thing, right? Yeah, we know that rates are going up a little bit, but it doesn't matter because you have choices and you're not competing against 25 people for this house. And hey, by the way, you don't have to pay $50,000 over appraised value anymore. We can go look at 10 houses on Friday. And if you want to take till Sunday to make your decision, it's fine.
Totally different than where it was even
Yeah.
30 days ago.
Yeah.
It's a very fast shift. That's the interesting part about it to me is how quickly the shift is happening and understanding, how to communicate that effectively.
Think about how fast interest rates changed.
Yeah.
And that's like steering a freighter, interest rates, right? Like it's such a huge impactful thing.
Yeah.
Think about how long it took for interest rates to literally double.
Right.
4 months.
Right.
Like these things are happening at lightning pace.
Yeah. It is.
And
happening
in
fast.
the real estate market could turn into a buyer's market at lightning pace as well. Who knows?
What does that look like?
Just more houses available than buyers willing to buy.
Yeah.
Right. The opposite of what we've been living through.
Does that change transactions? Yeah. I think you said transactions you believe are
so
still
I believe that, everything's a cycle. And when you switch, when you get to the end of a cycle, I think the amount of transaction constricts. And then as you go to the other end of the cycle, I think it loosens up and there are more transactions and then transactions get tight again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like it expands and contracts based on where it's at in the cycle.
Oh, wow. We are way over time. But we got to do 3 questions. Oh, no, we're not.
No, we're
we
not.
started at 10:30. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm way off today.
It's okay.
I need some coffee.
You want me to make you a coffee right now?
No, I don't
You
think
want to wait?
I'm going to wait. But
Okay.
I could use a coffee after this.
I'm going to wait. I hate that objection.
Me too. It's the worst.
I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that objection?
Let's role play.
You guys want to role play?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So
All right.
Jamie's going to be the real estate agent.
And Paul's going to wait.
Yeah, I'm going to wait.
You're going to wait to do what?
To get coffee.
Oh,
Why do you want to wait, Paul?
No, but I mean, there are some objections that do come up, and you're an objection specialist, I think, right?
Mhm.
Right?
yeah, we'll call it that. Yeah.
You're an objection specialist. So when
Yeah.
someone tells you in this market that they want to wait, what is your response to that?
You want to wait. What do you want to wait to do? To sell your house or to buy your house? Or both?
I'm going to wait to buy. Rates are kind of crazy right now. I don't, I'm going to wait a minute just to let things cool down.
Okay, so you want to wait a little bit to let things cool down?
Yeah.
Okay, what has you thinking about moving in the first place?
Well, I got, kids. We're running out of room, and I wanted an extra office for, my business. So those are the reasons we were looking at moving.
So you guys wanted something bigger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
2 kids.
2 kids. Okay, and where are you guys at right now?
Novi.
You're in Novi. Are
Yeah.
you renting or do you own your house right now?
I own.
You-
Let's say own.
You own your house right now.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been there?
A little over 4 years.
Okay, so you probably have a good amount of equity in that house.
Ton of equity. Yeah.
Okay, good for you. And then I know you said you want more room. Tell me what that looks like for you.
It just looks like having an office where I can actually work out of, and it looks like maybe having a playroom or like a study where I could keep, because a lot of the kids are working from home a lot now too.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I need that as well.
Okay. Do you work from home or do you go into the office?
It's hybrid now, so
Okay.
I'm doing both.
So you guys spend a lot of time at home together.
Correct.
Gotcha. So a bigger house. Would it be in Novi still or would you go somewhere else?
I'm open to other areas.
Okay. How close to Novi do you want to be?
I'd say 10-mile radius.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How many houses have you guys looked at?
We've been I look at houses like it's porn.
Yeah.
You
Do
know
you
what I
watch a
mean?
lot of porn?
I just look at a lot of houses.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Paul, when's the last time you talked to a lender about what you can qualify for and what rates actually look like?
Oh, I'm qualified.
Okay. When's the last time you talked to a lender?
Probably last time I bought a house, but I'm really well qualified.
Yeah, no, so I'm definitely not questioning if you're qualified or not. What I think is important is you mentioned you're concerned about interest rates, correct?
Yeah.
And are you concerned about the actual interest rate or how much you're going to pay per month, or both?
Well, obviously the way that affects my payment is really the most important thing.
Yeah. So that's why I think it's important for you to talk to somebody, because we hear all of these things in the news and all of these articles about interest rates rising, and it sounds really scary. It's actually still a really great time to buy a house.
Yeah.
What time can Tom call you? I can have him give you a call at 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
All right. Let's have him call me at 6 o'clock. That was really good. A little slot close at the end. I like that.
You're
I like
welcome.
that. Where did you learn all these skills?
Yeah.
Just kidding, Tom.
That's a
Didn't
lie.
teach me anything.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, that's true, but that's something that you're hearing right now, right?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest objection in the market right now is it's not even really wait. It's where do I go? Okay, I've got a bunch of equity. I'm at 3.5% on my mortgage. Where do I go? I could sell. I could cash out 200 grand and put that down on a new house. But where do I go? Am I gonna overpay for a house and get a higher interest rate? Like, doesn't make sense. But then when you dive in, like, people have these preconceived notions before even looking at facts.
Right.
Right. And that's why
Right.
pivoting to a lender, like, let's talk about the real. Like, what does it really look like? Right. What's it look like on your payment? What's it look like? It's wow. Dave Samofsky, everybody.
He just delivered a
Delivered
coffee.
me a coffee.
Wow, Dave was watching us
Wow.
live.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's awesome. That's really awesome. What other objections are you hearing, Jamie? I mean, right now, like people buying houses or selling even.
Yeah, I think the biggest objection I'm getting right now is just the pricing objection on the listing side, right? So people saw their neighbors selling their houses for this astronomical numbers the last 2, 3, 5, 6 months. And they're like, dude, I'm ready to move now and I want what they got. And it's just not realistic anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, that's probably the biggest objection I'm seeing right now. And the conversation that we were having with sellers a few months ago of, hey, let's list your house on Friday and I'll call you on Monday with 20 offers.
Yeah.
Right. They still have that conversation in their mind. I'm like, hey, it's still a great time to sell because values haven't gone down yet. Right. So it's still a great time to sell, but we probably need to be priced about 5% lower than we talked about 4 months ago.
Right.
And
That's
that was
fair.
the person that had the wait objection to begin with.
Correct.
They wanted to wait.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a cost to waiting.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's a lot going on in the market, man. I mean, I have a hard time stating one way or the other what makes sense or not. I mean, how do you feel, Jamie, about buying in this market?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just because I like winning. And I think as a buyer, you can start winning right now.
You can start winning right now.
Yeah. So you can negotiate. You can negotiate on the front end. You can negotiate for bullshit in the inspection if you need to. And if the appraisal comes in light, you can negotiate again, right? So I think like I mentioned, the first time in a really long time, buyers have some leverage and they can start winning. And they haven't felt that, right? It hasn't been fun to buy a house in a really long time, in my opinion. I mean, that was my conversation with buyers for the last couple of years is, hey, I'm so excited that we're working together. This is going to fucking suck. Right? Like we're gonna, I'm gonna find you your perfect house and you're gonna be happy, but we're probably gonna lose 10 times before we get that perfect house.
Yeah.
And that conversation right there is rare, right? Because a lot of people like to paint this rosy picture for their clients and they shy away from telling them what's real. But when you do so many transactions that not every individual transaction matters,
right,
you can be more honest.
You can be more honest.
You can be more honest. And that's what I think people, even if they don't like it, that's what they need. They need just the facts. They need honesty.
How many agents right now are behind the curve, you think, where they're still talking about, oh, I'm going to get you a whole bunch of offers on a listing? And you see what I'm saying? Maybe they're not being as upfront with all what's really going on, or maybe they don't even know.
Yeah. Agents at REALTEAM are just in the market.
In the market.
Because
I know REALTEAM, I think REALTEAM, we have conversations about this stuff quite a bit. I just don't know if a lot of other places are having the same conversation.
No, I think a lot of agents are still going to sit down at a listing appointment and go, wow, look what you can get for your house. And then they're going to go to market with that price.
Right.
Because here's the thing. It's a lot easier to win a listing from a client when you overprice it.
Well, yeah, when you're the highest
easier
price.
To get the listing as an agent. So agents tend to favor overpricing. even though it's the worst thing for the client. And it
that's
literally costs them money.
Yeah. And that's why we're seeing days on market increase, right?
We have seen that. Yeah,
because people
seen
are
days on market
pricing
increase.
as if it was a few months ago. And then they're too scared to have the conversation, right?
They don't want to reprice it.
They're too scared to say, hey, we're not getting what we need. We have to adjust the price. They're just not having those conversations.
How quickly should someone reprice? If they put their house on market and they don't have the attention that they feel like they should be getting, should they reprice right away, or do they take?
What's your conversation, Jamie?
Yeah, I would say if we don't have 10 to 15 showings in the first weekend, then there's a pricing issue.
Right.
Pricing issue.
Correct.
Pricing issues. Interesting.
So 10 showings in the first weekend.
Yeah. And if we don't, I'm not saying that if I list it on a Thursday and there's not 10 showings scheduled, I'm going to price drop it on a Friday. But if I don't have an offer by Monday, I can promise you that we're having the conversation that we have to adjust the price.
And that's aggressive, right? That's more aggressive than I believe most real estate agents are used to.
Yeah.
Why do you take that approach, given your experience?
Because in my experience, the longer that we sit on the market, and I know I preach it all the time, but the longer we sit on the market, the less money you're going to get, right? So if it's sitting on the market, someone thinks, A, there's something wrong with your house, because why the hell is your house just sitting on the market? Why is no one buying it? Or B, you're overpriced. And the longer you sit as a buyer's agent, you're going to try to negotiate, right? If I bring a buyer through a house and it's been on the market for 14 days,
right,
I can guarantee you I'm not giving them asking price.
You're not doing that.
No.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. My mind's fried.
Okay.
My mind's totally fried with this stuff. I just feel like there's just so many moving parts right now. So listing side, if I'm listing a lot of houses right now, what are those conversations like with my people
when you're at the listing appointment with them?
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's a very easy conversation. Listen, values are still high. You still have a ton of equity in your house.
Yeah.
They're not where they were 3 months ago, but that's okay. As long as we price aggressively, we're still going to get activity.
Right. It's all about the pricing right now, I think, on the listing side.
Always.
Yeah.
Always is.
Always is.
Correct.
Why is overpricing so dangerous?
Days on market.
Yeah.
It's just that the more days you're on the market, the more perception that you're priced too high or there's something wrong with your home.
Right.
Like it's the equivalent of when you go to the grocery store and you're buying bananas and you see the brown bananas, right? The brown overripe bananas. Who wants those? Nobody wants those. So
unless
they're going to
you're
pass
making banana bread.
Well, that's true. And there's some people that do like banana bread.
Yeah, but they're not going to pay full price.
They're not going to pay full price for those bananas.
No, they're not.
No. So Jamie, can you talk to me about, you are one of our most important people at REALTEAM, and you are that because you add so much value to people, especially people that are brand new. You can probably, because you see so many new people, have kind of a profile of what you think it takes to be a great agent.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What do you see in a brand new person that's maybe never sold real estate, but what are the qualities they have to become a great agent?
They have to be hungry. That's number one. I mean, everybody and their brother is a real estate agent, right? So you have to want to take any opportunity that you possibly can, no matter what it is.
Right.
So they have to be hungry and they have to be coachable. Like there's a lot of moving pieces, like you guys mentioned, in a real estate transaction, and a lot of moving pieces just to get someone to say yes, right? There's a lot of sales tactics that go into it. You have to be able to be coachable and take advice, even if you don't believe it to be true.
Yeah.
Blind faith. A little bit of blind faith.
Yeah. Because a lot of people come in and they try to reinvent the wheel, right? So they come in, they're like, well, I'm not going to do it that way because I'm going to do X, Y, and Z this way.
What are you saying that like in the first year causes most agents to quit? Is it just the grind, or is it the lack of income? Or is it right? It's hard.
Yeah.
That first year is really, really hard in real estate.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah,
it is.
Really
so
hard.
I think it's both, right? I think that it's the grind. Like it's not easy, right?
Right.
And do some agents come in and they get a streak of good luck right off the rip? Of course, right? But for the majority, it's, a grind. You're putting in a ton of hours and you're not making a paycheck.
Right.
And that fucking sucks, right? And we can paint the picture of the light at the end of the rainbow, but I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
You have to stick with it.
You have to stick with it.
And the cool thing about REALTEAM is we have so many examples of people who did stick with it.
Right.
And, now they're making 6 figures plus and people are calling them, but it wasn't always that easy. But again, a lot of our leaders haven't been it's not like they've been in the business for 20, 25 years, right? Most people have been here for 5 to 9 years,
right,
probably. So they have very recent experience of like being in the shit and like showing renters for 6 months or just picking up showings or whatever it may be just to make a couple $100. And that's what you have to do.
Because it's not about the couple $100, it's about the relationship with that person. And then the referrals you can get from, I mean, there's several stories of people showing someone a renter, which is, you see a rental lead, you don't want it. Right. Thanks, Alex.
Alex Lozon, JP,
little JP love out there.
It says master, not monster, but I can be a monster too.
Master. Fuck.
Can you grab your coffee?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my coffee. You keep talking.
Take your headphones off first. That's funny. So we've
you talking about renters?
Yeah, renters. Like you don't want that lead, right? You see a rental lead, you don't want it. But how many times does that renter lead end up turning into a purchase once they're done renting? And then after that, how often does it turn into a sale and another purchase? Like it's not like these leads are like seeds. They're seeds, and if you plant them and grow them and take care of them, they'll continue to harvest for you. But some people are so short-sighted that they're like, I'm only going to make $400 on that. There's no way I'm showing that.
Right. And that's what we talk about all the time. Like Tom said, it's the relationship, right? Because it doesn't matter what this one person is. That person has friends, that person has family, that person has coworkers. Like that's how you build your business, right? You just build relationships with the people that know people, and you have to be the person that comes to their mind when they hear, hey, I want to move.
Right. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
How do you become top of mind like that?
Customer service, provide a lot of value.
Yeah.
People, we get paid a good amount of money for what we do. And it's not just to put a sign in the yard or just to open a lockbox. We have to provide value every step of the way.
And what about after the transaction? So like, what should we be doing? What should let's say an agent who's gone through that grind, they've got to that point where they're making 6 figures plus, they've maybe 3 years in. What should they be doing to take care of their past clients?
They need to talk to them. They need to call them, right? I mean, there's other things you can do. You can do client events. You can send Christmas cards. You can do all of that stuff, and you should be doing that stuff. Right. But you just have to continue to communicate with them, right? Like, I mean, I don't know about you guys or anyone listening out there, but it's very rare that your real estate agent or your insurance agent or whoever like calls you every 6 months and says, hey, I'm just thinking about you. How's it going?
Right.
And whether or
it's
not
almost non-existent.
Right. So that phone call can feel uncomfortable, but people like to feel cared about. And like, I don't care who's calling me. If someone just calls me and says like, hey, I was just thinking about you, I wanted to say hi. Like that feels fucking good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I could see that. So follow-up is key.
Yeah.
Follow-up is key in this industry. That's one thing that I know for a fact is follow-up. I mean, as an agent, if you're not following up in today's world, you're like screwed. And a lot of people just fail on the follow-up.
So you asked the question earlier, why do I think that people fail, whether it's in their first year, 2 or 3 in the business? I think that's it, right? Because it can become a grind if you have to cold call every single day for 3 years because you're not following up and cultivating relationships, right? So the goal on the front end is when we are talking to our new agents is, listen, you don't have to be on the phone for 8 hours every day of your life for the rest of your life.
Right.
But you're going to do it for a year or 2. You're going to build your relationships. And then if you continue to talk to those people, the business is going to come back to you.
Right.
But you hit the nail on the head. You talk to somebody one time and have one conversation with them. They're not calling you in a year or even 6 months when they think about selling. They only heard from you once. Why would they?
Yeah, and on the mortgage side, we're not so built to follow up for as long.
No. I mean, we're unfortunately, if you look yourself in the mirror, I've done this and I've said, you're pretty good at sales, Tom, but you're kind of a shitty, like long-term partner. Like I've tended to be a transactional type person I do have some really good relationship with clients, but a lot of clients, it was like a one and done. And now that I'm 46 years old and looking back, and I've done mortgages for 15 years, I'm like, I just wasted so much time and effort and burnt through relationships, and I'm ashamed of it.
Yeah, when I was at Quicken, I wrote a lot of loans, man.
Right.
But we burned through them, and like it was transactional. And it wasn't relationship based. It was just like, I'll give me more leads, I'll call more leads, and I'll get more deals.
Right.
And if I get more deals, I'll get more money.
Now imagine if you were having a conversation just twice a year, 2 conversations a year with every client you've ever done a mortgage for.
Man, that would take a long time.
It would take a long time, but how valuable would that be?
Oh, it would be awesome.
How much repeat business would that be producing for you?
A ton.
Right.
A ton. And I don't
only the great ones do that.
Right. I have not done that.
Right.
I'm not a great one.
No.
Dave Samosky just texted the 3 of us. Do you think he's bringing more coffee?
No. What did he
read
say?
the text.
Let's
see
read
what he
it
said.
on air, unless it's something inappropriate.
Paul, look at this view.
They're inviting us to lunch.
Oh, that's nice.
Thanks, guys.
What about it?
It's really weird. Look at only my foot's moving.
Oh yeah,
that's
it's
interesting.
it's like right in the crap.
Well,
yeah.
look at this one. Look at this one. Look at your head.
Oh no, no, Paul, no, I don't want it. Fun with cameras.
Why is just one part of it doing it?
I don't know.
Like, I'm okay, but your head's not.
I don't know.
For those of you that get to watch us live, you get to see some fun stuff.
Does this get cut out if they don't watch it live?
No.
Oh, so they can still see it.
They can still see it.
Okay.
Look, I have 3 arms.
That's interesting.
That's awesome. Moving on.
We're going to go to 3 questions. Ready?
3 questions.
3 random questions.
All right.
If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Hawaiian pizza with jalapenos.
Awesome.
Gross.
I
don't think, first of all, I think it's bullshit that you put fruit on a pizza.
Have you had Hawaiian pizza and added jalapenos? Yes or no?
No.
All right. Well, there we go.
I just think it's gross and it's bullshit.
All right.
I don't know. There's a big that's a popular following of people that hate fruit on pizza.
I don't like any of them.
The
people.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. Do you have a question?
I do. I'm gonna go to the one from last week.
Okay.
If you were on a desert island, stranded, and you could only have one article of clothing for the whole time there, what would that article of clothing be?
It would just be like an extra large t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big old t-shirt.
That works.
Yeah, it covers. Yeah, you're good.
The blanket cover like
you can do
right?
An
multi-purpose.
extra large t-shirt, like an REO Speedwagon t-shirt or
maybe.
something.
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Interesting.
I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
I go loincloth. I'll build my own.
No, you didn't.
loincloth.
You went shoes.
Oh, shoes.
You would just want shoes?
Yes.
You just walk around naked with shoes on?
Yeah.
It's a deserted island. You're the only one there.
I could put leaves around my junk.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You could.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sticking with the hat. I'm gonna need a hat.
You'll need a hat. Yeah. I'm gonna go with shoes.
Your head would burn too easily.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. Who would you say has inspired you the most in the last year?
In the last year?
Yeah, not forever, just in the last year.
That's a great question. I really hope that he's not listening to this right now because his head won't be able to fit through the door.
Okay.
But I would say Chandler. Chandler and I work really close together. He's the director of sales here.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
And he keeps me going. So I would say he's inspired me the most within the last year.
We got to get him in on the podcast. I'm gonna get him on.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. He's a
very
super
resistant to it.
Very resistant, but he's a super impactful person, and I think
provides a lot of value.
Yeah,
very
for sure.
He does. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our show, people.
How do we get a hold of Jamie?
Jamie, how do people get a hold of you?
Do you want me to say my phone number right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or whatever you want to say.
Whatever you want to say.
Instagram handle.
Well, we talked about this. I don't have an Instagram.
Oh God.
I know. It's embarrassing. I know we talked about it.
We did not talk about this. I did not know. We talked about it
at the Tigers game.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I know you don't remember it.
It's embarrassing.
You don't have
it's embarrassing
an Instagram.
I feel like I'm so far past of when I should have gotten an Instagram that now
Wrong.
Wrong. You're wrong.
All right, I'm wrong.
Wrong.
That's why you do what you do and I do what I do.
It's never too late to start. It's like saying I shouldn't close.
You're right. You're right. All right, you can help me. That's fine. So
okay.
you can't find me on Instagram, but you can call me or send me an email. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was
So
fun.
thank you all for listening to the show. If obviously go to irepodcast.com. If you want to leave us a comment, go to Facebook.com/irepodcast. Go to Spotify and search Inside Real Estate Podcast. It'll come right up. And I love you all. We are in episode 198. We're nearing 200. We will see you next week. No jalapenos, though, Ryan Callahan. No jalapenos. All right, boys and girls. Peace out. Bye.
Cool.
You've been listening to Inside Real Estate, the nation's top real estate podcast. Don't forget to follow us at irepodcast.com and everywhere where podcasts are available.